Just so many things happening out here this week in Los Angeles. Paulie goes, I had some guys who lost. A guy lost a bowling league. It was an all-Greek bowling league, and the loser has to get a haircut like Fritzy's. And I said, okay. So they just came in. If you were watching the live look-in, the guy got a Fritzy there. And Reggie jumped in, giving him a haircut as well. Yes, Paulie.
So this Greek bowling league, every year they get together, these buddies, and it's the Greek bowling league, and they have to get a punishment when they lose. And they created this new haircut called a Fritzy. And the thing is, the guy who lost is named Vaz. And Vaz has great hair, like Patrick Dempsey type great hair.
Yes.
And he just got it weed whacked by Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer.
Oh, man. I feel bad now, but you guys were doing it all wrong. If you're going to give him the Fritzy, you got
I was feeling terrible while I'm doing it because he had a great head of hair, and I'm just watching it fall by the wayside.
He's young. It'll come back.
But I like how the punishment was what Fritzy has every day.
It's really flattering.
Yeah.
That's what the ladies are looking for.
You got to get the Fritzy. He's Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer. He's going to be doing the Western Conference Finals with Marv on TNT. Game 3 is Sunday at 8 Eastern. Before the break, I mentioned a couple things. Let me start with Jeff Hornacek being hired as the Knicks head coach. What does this mean? Because Phil goes out of that Laker fraternity.
Well, it's interesting because everyone assumed it was going to be someone with triangle experience, and Jeff Hornacek does not have that. I'm sure a lot of people are scratching their head at the hire because he came out of nowhere. Usually you were thinking Thibodeau, who had already gone to Minnesota, re-signed Kurt Rambis, Luke before he got the Laker job. But out of left field, here comes Coach Hornacek, and maybe he can institute some of his own philosophies. Not a lot of experience there. Obviously, he was at the helm with Phoenix. Well, not great success, but I think it's a solid hire.
But is he going to have to run the triangle?
I hope not. That the triangle is
It's past its time, isn't it, Reg?
you've got to have the right players.
But even today, in today's game, let's say Phil was coaching now and he had Kobe or he had Michael. Would he be running this style of offense?
Yes.
Even in today's game?
If you have Kobe, if you have Scotty, Michael, Shaq, yes, you can run that offense. If he was coaching today and he had the Golden State Warriors,
Would he be running the triangle offense?
or the San Antonio Spurs, yes, because you have those type of players. You have bigs that can pass, that can shoot, and that set great screens, yes. And you have playmakers in Curry and Thompson, yes. He could run it with those teams.
But can you still shoot the three in the triangle like that? Because I know that you would have Kerr and Paxson shooting threes or Craig Hodges, but they shoot threes in transition.
Right.
It was different with the Bulls.
Well, and a little bit different with the Lakers. But if you remember Rick Fox, Glenn Rice, their first championship in 2000, he had three-point shooters on the floor for that spacing for Kobe and for Shaq.
Robert Horry.
Yeah. So, obviously threes are being shot more at a premium now. But with those two teams, he could run the triangle with.
All right, of the final four teams, let's say you're 35.
Mm-hmm.
Still in good shape.
Sure.
What team would you want to play for?
No question. I know the easy answer everyone's going to think I would say would be Golden State.
Yeah.
No. I would want to play with LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers because all I would have to do is put my camper and backpack on and chill out either in the short three-point corner or at the top of the key. I wouldn't have to do anything, and I would be spoon-fed by the king. Feed me grapes, sir. Feed me grapes. Yes.
Why is the corner three shorter?
I don't know.
Like, the people are surprised when I say that you should shoot from the corner because it's a shorter three. And they go, wait, isn't it a standard three? And I go, no. Is it tougher in the corner?
I don't think so. It's
for
like
you.
it's like a free throw. To me, the hardest three would probably be like that. The 45-degree angle three is probably the toughest three.
Yeah, top of the key and corners, I thought that's easier.
There's an article out today that I just did from a writer for the New Yorker. You could look it up. And the writer's name is Charles Bethea. And he was trying to propose to me, he talked to Larry Legend as well, about should there be a 4-point play. And I told him we would be the laughingstock of all the major leagues if the league is really considering adding a 4-point play. Because what we're really talking about is one player. One player really has range in today's game, and that would be Curry. Maybe Damian Lillard has, that kind of range. But to add a 4-point play for one guy, I think it would be absolutely ridiculous. And I know he spoke with Larry Legend, and Larry Legend said the 3 came along in 1979, his rookie season, and he kind of adapted to it. If we bring in, right now, young kids are looking at Steph Curry say, that's all I want to do. People don't understand that is, as great as Steph is, that 3-point shooting sets up everything else of his game. The floater, the runner, the left and right drives. It's great because that's all we see on SportsCenter is his highlights of him shooting threes.
But why not make the 3 a little bit deeper?
Such as, right now it's almost 24 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, what, make it 27?
Well, no, make it, you could add another 1.5 feet to it.
What's being lost is the mid-range game.
Yes, but now I bring it back. If I extend the 3, now I have the mid-range jumper that comes back into style.
But
people don't want to see that.
I would be more in favor of that than adding another line.
You're not a 4-point play. Yeah, Paulie, what do you have?
Reggie Bird said
Reggie Bird?
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Wow, I like that.
That'd be a great,
I like that.
great hybrid.
That's a nice combo.
Larry Bird told the New Yorker that they didn't even practice threes when they played. It was like a waste of time because they didn't take that money. He said he doubts there could be a 4-point line, but if you put one in, 10 years from now, kids will be good at it. He goes, if you put a 28-foot shot that was a 4-pointer, kids will
Think
start
about that. 20, you're going to have kids.
No.
No.
He was just
What's
considering.
being lost is the 15-footer, the 18-footer, the 12-footer.
But that's not entertainment, though.
It's not. It's not, but it's a lost art in today's game.
But the reason why people are watching is because of the 3.
And the
And
scoring.
the style. Yeah, that you once scored. You used to have games that were 118, 113. Now, when we look at a game, now Golden State does this, but it's
Right.
rare when you see these teams putting up 100.
At the end of the day, it's all about entertainment.
Yes.
And getting people, obviously, in your building, in your arena, and to have them entertain. And shooting threes and having Steph Curry score 15 points in less than 2 minutes, that's entertainment.
Yeah.
You want to see that. But I just think to be well-rounded as a basketball player, your mid-range game is being lost in today's game.
But if you're the commissioner, people are watching Golden State. Golden State plays,
Yes.
No matter demographics, age, it doesn't matter. Everybody is curious, interested. They like that. Aside from that, I don't think people are curious about the NBA. There's still the LeBron factor, whether you're rooting for him or against him. But
Right.
I find Oklahoma City fascinating because of Westbrook and Durant. But Golden State is must-see TV. You don't have enough of that in the NBA. And I think that's where the style might bring more people in that they'll go, yeah, I'll watch a Memphis-Atlanta game because they're going to put up some points.
Well, let's look at how Golden State was constructed by Bob Myers and Jerry West. You got Draymond Green, a 4-year college player at Michigan State. You've got Curry, who went 3 years at Davidson. 3 years for Klay Thompson at Washington State. Bogut comes over from Australia. So you've got guys that have the fundamentals. They're not one-and-done type players. And they've got players like Andre Iguodala, who was on losing teams before, will do whatever it takes to win. So if you're a president or general manager, you've got to look at guys that are willing to sacrifice for your teams to be successful. Leandro Barbosa was a star, 6-man award winner, comes in, plays his role. So you've got to have guys that understand what's it going to take for us to be successful.
Yeah, I think it's like the NFL that everybody throws for at least 4,000 yards.
Well, and didn't that start with the St. Louis Rams, the best show on?
Yes, yeah,
right?
greatest show on turf.
And everyone tried to formulate their teams after that, right?
Yeah, and it took a while,
Right.
because you couldn't do it right away.
Correct.
And then now everybody does it.
You had to have a Marshall Faulk, and you had the
Kurt
wide receiver.
Warner and
Kurt Warner,
Isaac Holt, or Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt.
Yeah.
Yes, you had to have
Hakeem.
you had to have that type of personnel to catch up to the Golden State Warriors. There's only one Draymond
But
Green.
how long does it take for everybody else to catch up to what Golden State's doing?
Well, you're not going to find a type of player like Curry.
So I can have a system like the Rams had, but it's different, though, because I think any NFL team can sort of run what the Patriots do. Not as well, but everybody throws for 5,000 yards and puts up those numbers. you can't recreate Golden State style with any other team in the NBA?
You can't recreate it, but you can get close. And look at the Portland Trailblazers who faced them in the second round. Well, Damian Lillard was averaging 30 points against Portland. He's as close to Steph Curry's going to get. C.J. McCollum was going toe-to-toe with Klay Thompson. Now, Amina was shooting threes like Draymond Green. He's not the defender or can handle the basketball like Money Green. So you can see there are some teams that are trying to base their formula off the success of Golden State.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.